The rain was relentless. It hammered against the asphalt, blurring the already dim streetlights. A sedan trying to navigate a sharp bend of highway ramp to Broken Street lost its grip. The car spun, tires screeching in protest before slamming headfirst into the metal guardrails of the exit ramp. The impact echoed in the night, a sickening crunch followed by an eerie silence. Emergency responders arrived to a scene of devastation. Another life claimed by a curve known locally as Dead Man's Turn. Emily Hayes felt a familiar ache in her chest as she watched the news report. A civil engineer with the city, she knew Broken Street all too well. She knew its treacherous curves and the countless accidents they had caused. But this one felt different. This one hit home. The mangled wreckage on the screen was a grim reminder of another accident, one that had taken her older brother 10 years ago. He too had been a victim of the dangerous curve. His life cut short on a road and ramp exit that would need analytics and redesign for safety. Emily had spent the last decade trying to move on, burying herself in her work. But the accident on Broken Street brought back the pain, the anger, and a burning need for answers. She pulled up the blueprints of the highway ramp, her eyes scanning the measurements, the curves, the grading. There, staring back at her, was a design puzzle of what could be missing. Is the curve's radius was too tight, the banking insufficient? Is there a recipe for disaster, especially in wet conditions at this dangerous road? This wasn't an accident waiting to happen. It was an unfortunate condition waiting to claim lives. Data doesn't lie. Emily delved into the city's accident records, compiling data on every accident on ramp to Broken Street for the past 2 decades. The numbers were staggering. Dozens of accidents, countless injuries, and a disproportionate number of fatalities, all concentrated around that one deadly curve. It was clear evidence that this wasn't just bad luck. It was a spot that would need further investigation and an immediate solution. Armed with this data, Emily knew she had to act. She had to convince the city to acknowledge the problem and fix it before another life was lost. Red tape, red flags. Emily presented her findings to her superiors expecting concern, maybe even gratitude. Instead, she was met with resistance. These things happen, her boss shrugged, dismissing her concerns. We can't rebuild every road with a slight bend. Emily was shocked. Their apathy was palpable. It was about budgets, deadlines, and not wanting to admit fault. The very bureaucracy meant to protect the city was turning a blind eye to a clear and present danger. Building a coalition. Emily refused to be silenced. She reached out to victims' families, rallying them to her cause. She contacted news outlets, sharing her findings, forcing the city to confront its negligence. She organized petitions, gathering thousands of signatures demanding action. Slowly but surely, she built a coalition, a chorus of voices too loud to ignore. The city council, facing mounting public pressure and scathing media coverage, had no choice but to take notice. The price of truth. The fight was far from over. City officials pushed back, trying to discredit Emily's findings, painting her as an alarmist. She faced threats, intimidation, pressure to drop the issue, but Emily refused to back down. She knew the truth, and she knew that lives were at stake. Her brother's memory fueled her determination, reminding her that silence was complicity. She had come too far to let fear silence her now.